All right, hello everybody. So, out here in California, Maryland today, currently walking into Marketplace Wine and Spirits. Walked in just for a quick second and got permission for them to film in here. So, we're gonna take a look inside and see what they got here today at Marketplace Wine and Spirits. So right out of the gates we have a Penelope, it looks like store barrel pick here. The Toasted Series Heavy. It's interesting, a 10th Ward Distilling Company right next to it. Barrel looks pretty nice. Coming in 111 proof. You can see the private selection here by Marketplace Wine and Spirits. So to keep that one in mind as we go throughout here. All right, so as we come in, we've got some local stuff here. This is Tobacco Barn. This is actually not too far from where I live here. We've got some Nikita single malts, a Blue Dyer, which is also a local distillery in my area. And then we got some Old Elk Tin Cup 10-year, which you guys have seen on the channel before. And then a bunch of different Japanese and stuff to go from there. But if you guys have seen on the channel before, this is where I've gotten the Calumets. So they got the Calumet 15 up here currently, as well as a Westward Cask Strength. That's interesting. I have not seen one of those around here. They got the Widow Jane 13, which I've been wanting to get. They also got the Baker's single barrel at 107 proof. I don't see a price on that one right now. It might be on the top. No. We'll figure that out because that's possibly an option today. What else we got up here? We got some Redbreast. We've got the Dogfather, which I've never seen anywhere but here before. Don't really know a whole lot about it though. We've got some old age scotches. So those of you who like the Scotch, we got a 37-year here. The Dewar Rattray. I don't even know how to say that. 37 years. That is insane. We got some 25-year Balmores, 18-year Balmores, some Dalmores. We got a bunch of different stuff. The Jefferson's Marion McLean. I've heard good things about that so far overall. Oops, sorry, had you out of center there. The Jefferson's Marion McLean 1703 Master Selection as well.
That was made specially for us. The barrel was made out of the barrel, and we had two different ones. The owner went out and tested it, and they made it up for us.
Oh, really?
So it was a special made for this store. One's a 114 and one's a 111.
Oh, there's a 114 there too? I only saw the 111. Okay.
It's on the bottle itself.
Oh, yeah. Aged and barreled. So this was apparently made specifically just for the store. This was made, so might really have to consider that. I don't see the price on them. I'll have to ask them what the price on these is, but that's actually pretty cool. It's got like the dog tag on there as well. Heavy Toasted Series, that's the 114. So if I was gonna pick one of those today, definitely gonna be that one. But we'll continue looking around and then make a decision later on after we look at everything. So got kind of a tight fit through here. So you guys know I don't do a whole lot of these scotches, but I'll give you a quick look through here. Got your standard Balvenis. As far as scotch wise, like I don't know if there's anything really special here that I'm looking at overall. So if you guys see anything, you can certainly see that for yourself. But as far as my knowledge of these scotches, it's not overwhelmingly large. So all right, let's get into here. Okay, here's actually the prices for those same Penelopes. So $70, so that's not too bad for something like that at all. Might have to consider that. They also got a barrel strength here. Penelope barrel strength coming in at 115. But if I was gonna pick one, I really like the way these bottles looks too, with the flowers on there really standing out. So may have to consider that. All right, let's get into the rest and see what we're working here. We got some Bourbon Kentucky Vantage. We do have a Blade and Bow here coming in at 53. It's only 91 proof though, so probably not going to be one. A black draft. I don't really know much about the black draft, so if you guys know, let me know down in the comments below what that is. We got some of your rabbits of Reservoir, Hunter, and Scott. What is this? This is a Cowboy Little Barrel American blended whiskey. I've not seen that before. That's kind of interesting. It's got like the I don't remember what that's called, but that's kind of interesting looking. I haven't seen one of those. Bow Brothers Kentucky Coffee Iron Smoke. Here's your Calumets. I do eventually want to get some of the younger Calumets. If you guys have seen on the channel, I have the 15 and the 16 year, but I haven't had any of the other selections that they have to offer yet. Virginia Distillery Company, so that's obviously one that's much more local to my area. I've never had any of their stuff. 92 proof on both of those, coming in at about 55 bucks, which isn't bad at all, but probably not going to go with that. We have up here, a Joseph Magnus. It's finished in sherry and cognac, but it's a triple finished at 100 proof. That one's actually kind of talking to me so far, so we'll see what we choose. But let's continue on this shelf for now, and then we'll get back to that top shelf. So we got the rare breed. There's the Nelson Brothers, which is, if you guys saw the recent video on the Belle Meade, that's basically the replacement for the Belle Meade. You can see it's even in kind of the same bottle. So the new one coming in at 62 is actually means that we got a pretty good price on the other one. Now, Blackwater Distilling Finishing Barrel Series Wheated Bourbon Finish, only 86 proof though. It had me until the 86 proof part. So we'll continue on for now. All right, let's hit the top shelf here. All right, so take a look at what we got here. We got the Kentucky Out Confiscated. Recently did a review of that on the channel. There's your Widowed Jane's, your Westward Single Malts. There's that Joseph Magnus. I have to actually look at this one real quick. It's not the cigar blend or anything like that, but it is a Joseph Magnus. I've never had one before. It's triple cast finish at 100 proof, with being finished in sherry and cognac casks, so that is quite interesting to me. That's one I will be considering here quite soon. But let's continue. There's the Calumet 15 year, some Hill Rock over here as well, Amador, Blue Run, Pine Barrels, and a few others. So all right, let's continue on, see what else we're working with here. So we move down to the next shelf, where we've got your Redemption. Which Redemption is this? Okay, this one's finished in cognac casks. So that's, a lot of you were telling me the 9 year, which we saw before, was a really good option, but I ended up not quite getting one. We got some Isaac Bowmans, which is actually pretty local for me. A lot of people say good things about them. I have not actually had them yet, but will definitely at one point. Here's your Black Maple Hill. I always pick this one up so many different times, but I never quite have yet. Then we've got some Detlings over here from Alabama as well. Don't know a whole lot about them. Let's check out one more shelf down now. Got what is this? Old Bardstown one. I don't know if I've seen this one before. Interesting. I'll have to do some more research on that. Only $26, so that's certainly, if that's anything cool to look at, I might have to come back for that at another time. Bunch of Jefferson's selections here. Woodinville, Russell, Clyde Maids, a bunch of barrel selections here that, we already have a bunch of them here, but a bunch of different barrel selections here as well. If we continue on, we got Backbone, Slaughterhouse, David Nichols, Presidential Dram. Over the Barrel, what is that? Kentucky Bourbon Whiskey, 86 proof though. I'm not really too interested in 86 proof. We got some flavored stuff down here. Not really interested in any of the flavored stuff. Then finally down at the bottom, we've got some Henry McKenna's. Those actually, which one is this? $12 for the Sour Mash Henry McKenna. That's pretty good. We got your Old Foresters and a bunch of other stuff here down on the bottom rack. So one more spot to look here. There's another kind of section here. We got your Old Hickory, Basil Hayden's, Masterson's. I've seen a bunch of these around, don't know a lot of them. Here's a Heaven's Door Rye, Pinhook Straight Rye, Kinsey's Hughes, Bells of Bedford. I don't know anything about those bottles. Coming in at a little bit over $100. They kind of look interesting. 107 proof, 104 proof. Might have to do some more research on those because I don't know a damn thing about those. But let's continue looking on. We got some Sagamores. Which Sagamore is that? Straight rye, straight rye. Oh, that's the double oak. I've heard very, very good things about the double oak. Only $61. I think that's a pretty good price for that, but I've never actually had it myself, so I don't know. I don't know what we should go with at this point quite yet, but we got a few options here. We also have an oak and applewood aged Widow Jane here. I don't think I've ever had that, the rye mash as well. So just taking a look around at the rest of the options here. Some Catoctin Creeks, which I believe is actually a pretty local distillery as well. And then some Tumble and Dice, which once again, I believe Bourbon Drop is a big fan of them. But it's a barrel proof one too, coming in at 110 for 58 bucks there on the Tumble and Dice. That's probably not too bad. All right, got to make a decision though about what we want to get. Let's see. The Joseph Magnus and that barrel pick are both kind of talking to me right now. If I'm leaning towards anything, it's probably going to be those. Oh, we got a couple more over here I didn't even see. Hold on. We got some Mictors over here. There's the Baker's. Oh, that's only $69 for that Baker's. I was also looking at that Baker's, the straight bourbon whiskey. It's 8 years and 7 months. Oh man, decisions. There's so many good options in this store. You know, it's not the overly biggest store in the world, but it's got a ton of different options here, and I didn't even somehow see this side at first. So just giving you guys a quick look through. Four Roses single barrel there for only $48, and if you guys know this area at all, that is a really good price. So that's pretty cool to see. What is this? Bastille single malt, French single malt whiskey. Have not seen one of those before. Don't know anything about that. Okay, and we got all your Jacks and everything along the way from there. Here's your Jack Daniel's single barrel. They actually have a knob 12 here too section. Only $71 there, so that's pretty good as well. All right, time to decide what we're gonna get today. All right, so you're telling me I should go with the store pick?
I mean, the owner, like I said, he went out to the factory and they did a tour and all that, and they mixed up the 2 barrels for us, and we brought both barrels.
So they did a blend of the 2 barrels?
Blended 2 different
okay.
barrels. Cool. Going back, we saw a lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of people come back and buy it.
Good deal.
There's plenty of different bourbons. He's a big bourbon drinker. So
no, I can see that based on his selection. He had a good selection.
He's got a little bit of everything.
What does he do with the allocated stuff when he gets them in? Does he just put them out, or hold them for the good customers, or
No, he
just puts them out?
Puts it out, yeah.
Okay, that's mostly what everybody always wants to know.
Yeah.
What's that?
As you can see, there's a lot of different ones that are probably harder to get. Hey, he said, man, he said the other night I drink half a bottle of this, and my father-in-law says, man, you were out of it, you were gone. He said, but he said you just put it on ice, and he don't put it on ice. He
right.
said just add a little bit of drops of water to it. But,
yeah, well, I've seen there's one across the bridge that did just a barrel pick, but they didn't do it where it was blended between 2 barrels and made just for them and all that stuff. So
yeah, that's
I figured I'll give this one a try because that one was pretty good. So, all right, so just finished up shopping in there, and I went with the 2 I was talking about. So even though I just recently did a Penelope store pick, I was talking to the owner and the gentleman working at the front desk, and this one they actually did a little bit different. This one was made specifically for them. So they took 2 different barrels and did a blend of them, but then they also controlled like the toast level and how long it was aged. So he said this one was actually aged at 4.5 years. They actually tried it at 4 years, and then they asked them to age it a little bit longer. So they did it for another 6 months. So that's actually really cool. So it was aged and barreled just for them, and they selected the barrels as well. So I decided to go with this one coming in at 114 proof. Pretty excited to try that one out. They really hyped it up, And like I said, I talked to the owner a little bit even after I stopped filming in there. So unfortunately, you guys don't get to see that, but that was pretty cool too. And then I went with the Joseph Magnus that I was looking at in there, the finished in sherry and cognac cask. This is 100 proof, and pretty excited about that because I've never had a Joseph Magnus before. So gonna try them both in some upcoming videos. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's hunt. What did you see in that store that you think I should have gotten? Let me know down in the comments below. Hit subscribe. I appreciate you watching.